If you were to die today, what's the one thing that you want to be remembered for? It's a tricky question, I know, but no worries because in this video, I'll be going over how you can leave your mark on the world just by being yourself. But the truth is that most people aren't thinking about leaving a legacy when they first start out doing something. And that goes for world famous icons like Akira Toriyama too. He never could have imagined that he would create the worldwide phenomenon that is Dragon Ball. But that's why it's important to just start, because you never know where you'll end up or the impact you'll have. And that's why I'll be going over how Toriyama got his start, how he improved himself, and by the end of the video, you'll see why none of us are really good enough in the beginning, but everything can change with just one decision. And if you want to take a deeper dive into today's topic, then download the free action plan linked in the description below. Now imagine this. Imagine that your parents never got together and you were never born. Imagine that instead of meeting at that one diner, your dad decided that he'd just eat at home today. Or that your mom never left home to pursue her dream of, being a doctor. But instead, she decided to stay home to help take care of her parents. Or, in my own case, what if my dad decided to go to a different college and he would have never met my mom? See, every choice we make has an unknown impact on us and the world around us. Some are small, like deciding to put on deodorant or not. I mean, come on, we've all been to a few Comic-Cons before, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. While other decisions are a little more impactful, like who you decide to marry or what your calling in life is gonna be. But when it comes to leaving a legacy, it's more than just leaving behind this random will giving your goldfish to your second cousin on your mom's side because no one else would take care of it. No, it's a lot more than that. It's about making an impact. And you make that impact by blessing lives, developing people, and making the world just a little bit better. And you can do this by finding out really what makes you unique. What is it that sets you apart from everyone else? What is it that you can offer the world, that only you can offer the world? And I cover these concepts in a little more detail in my Maki Zenin character guide, which is linked in the description below. But you don't have to have all of these answers figured out right now. I mean, heck, Toriyama himself wasn't thinking about any of this stuff when he decided to be a mangaka. He just hated the corporate world and wanted to get paid while following his passion, which is something I'm sure that most of us, if not all of us, can relate to. But who would have thought that his decision to enter an amateur manga competition would change the entertainment world forever? So now you've decided that you want to leave behind some sort of legacy. I mean, that's great. Or maybe you're not quite there yet, and that's fine too. It's all a part of the journey. And like every journey, you need to start at the beginning. Because think about it. How weird would it be if you started your favorite series just right in the middle? Imagine tuning into Dragon Ball Z right in the middle of the Cell games and Gohan just turned Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. Now you may think that this is some cool action and effects, but I don't know what's happening. And that's what it feels like when you try to skip ahead in your journey. The result may be good, it may even be great, but it will never reach the level it's supposed to if you don't take the time to put the proper pieces in their order. And the beginning is the most important piece because it all starts with you and your interests. See, Toriyama's initial interest in manga came at a young age when he was first introduced to Osamu Tezuka's Astro Boy. I'm sorry for butchering that name, but while everyone else in his middle school were interested in drawing Astro Boy, Toriyama instead was more focused on drawing pictures of his friends and his other interests besides manga, like TV shows and movies. Now, when he was in high school, Toriyama still didn't have a "this is my dream job" kind of passion for manga, but he did create them from time to time. But little did he know, he was actually refining the tools he would use later on in life to leave his mark on the world. And the beauty of it all is you have these tools to make something great right now. You have your mind, your body, and your passion. And when you mix and match those different aspects, you actually discover what your talents are. And by using those talents, you should work on something that is meaningful to you. Think about how you can incorporate your different interests into your legacy and how you can make that a reality. For me, it's my love of faith, anime, and personal growth is what led to the birth of this YouTube channel. Now, it'll take some digging, but it's something that will change your life completely if you let it. Hey, if you got any value out of this video so far, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below what you think your legacy, might be. So let's say you got an understanding of what your legacy might be, and now you're out there working tirelessly on it. You get up before everyone else, and you stay up long after they go to sleep just to get this thing done. But then you start to hear the voices. And no, not the voices of the dead, but the voices of your doubts, your fears, your anxieties, whatever it is for you. And you begin to wonder, am I really good enough to do this? Am I the right person? And the answer is no, you're not. Because the current you has never done anything like this before. Who you are now has no idea how to leave a legacy. But don't worry, Toriyama didn't know what he was doing in the beginning either. Like I mentioned earlier, Toriyama got his start by entering an amateur manga competition in the back of Shonen Jump magazine. And his first published work ever was a title called Wonder Island, and it was a huge flop. It placed last in the reader's survey at the back of the magazine. And he failed again with the sequel, Wonder Island 2. But originally wanting to actually quit manga after just getting paid so he can pay his bills, Toriyama's stubbornness got the best of him because he refused to go out on a loss. Now, how many of us gamers can actually relate to this feeling? I'm looking at you, For Honor. Determined, Toriyama would continue to draw failed stories for about a year until he had his first taste of success after his editor, Kazuhiko Torishima, suggested to him that he should try creating a female lead character, which led to the creation of Tomato the Cutesy Gumshoe, which is weird. But now this wasn't a groundbreaking success, but it was the first win that really got the ball rolling. And that's why it's important to keep showing up and to keep working on whatever it is that you're building. You can be right on the cusp of a breakthrough without ever knowing it. And this push is what Toriyama needed to really break through that glass ceiling. And since Tomato was a success, he felt encouraged and created another female lead character for his new work in Dr. Slump. And this is what made Toriyama a household name in Japan, getting the primetime television slot and everything, and ultimately paved the way for the series we all know and love, Dragon Ball, which has influenced generations of video games like Tekken, Dragon Quest, and Chrono Trigger, people like us otakus, content creators, and even some gym rats, and of course, anime and manga with the big three and all the series that came after them. And none of these things would have been possible had Toriyama given up on his pursuit of manga, thinking that he just wasn't cut out for it. How many lives can you change just by starting something? Who can you inspire just by being yourself? See, when it comes to leaving a legacy or making an impact, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up every single day to the best of your ability. Who you are now isn't the person that is capable of creating something great. So do like Toriyama and just keep failing until you are. That it may not happen the first time, or the second, or the 10th, or even the 20th time, but it will never happen if you are too afraid to try. Now, if you're moved by this idea of legacy, but not sure where to start, then check out this video where I cover the idea of leaning into your uniqueness so that you can make a lasting impact on the world by analyzing the transformation of Monkey Zenny from Jujutsu Kaisen.